Alright, boys and girls, all you squirrel hunters out there, you know, I've been watching a few, it's hot here today, I've been watching a few videos, different people squirrel hunting. All I do is share information, you know, you make out of this whatever you want. Now, I've showed a picture of this before, but, you know, we're getting in close to season opening here in Tennessee. You see that shooting stick there? I've got that ruler running to the ground. You see how tall that is? It's about 75 inches tall. Now, some people probably say, damn, Sharpshooter, that's too damn tall to be packing in the woods. Well, you hunt around some big timber, boys, you got to shoot some steep angle shots. Sometimes they're close, sometimes they're far away. This stick can also be used to check around logs for snakes before crossing them. This can be used to rake squirrels back through a fence. There's a lot of landowners I have, they've got cross fences out there. You'll shoot a squirrel and it'll be 3 foot on the other side of the fence. Well, I don't have to, if it's a knit wire fence or a barbed wire fence, I'll rake that squirrel with that stick right there. I've done it several times. I think I've showed a few in the videos. Over there on Rimfire Central. Now this is a mono shooting stick. I've got quite a few squirrels out of holes, meaning down in deep ravines. And I can actually wedge a squirrel with that foot down there and get him to set up on that stick. Now it ain't always the easiest thing to do, but now there's a few places, boys, I got squirrels out with this stick right here that I couldn't, if I would have went down in there to get the squirrel, I would still be in there. There was no way out, nothing to hold on to, nothing to climb out with. Now, I do lean this stick up in the woods, depending, sitting down. I lean it up 45, 30 degrees on a tree and shoot off the side of it. Okay, now, shooting that stick, you know, I tilt it forward. I'll show you here. You know, everybody thinks it's too tall, okay, but when I've got this stick, you see what I've done to it here? See how I've tilted it forward? Okay, so that's how I adjust my height with it, tilting it forward generally, not back, but forwards, okay, depending on the shooting angle. You know, now sometimes I sit down in the woods, it depends. Of course, it makes noise sitting down in the woods, and it makes noise getting up depending on how wet or dry it is. Now, what's the effective range on a squirrel's head? I'm not talking about no shitty ass body shot. A squirrel's head with that HM2 rifle I use. Using that stick right there, holding it in my hand like you see me, and putting that rifle barrel on that right there headshot, I'm good to about 55 yards. I have killed them as far as 60. Now, when I first start using this stick, it'll take me about 3 days, and I'll steady up with it a little bit, okay? You'll get used to it. I know it looks sort of clownish, you know, and you're like, oh, you could never shoot a gun off of that piece of shit. Well, this is off of a tree pruner. That's what I got this off of, made out of fiberglass. It's pretty light. All right, and I took a V off of one of them, I forget what you call it, but I got it off of another piece of shooting equipment, and it's in there pretty good, okay? And I took a foot off of a walking stick or something, pair of crutches, and put that on there. That's got a lot of miles on it, boys. Now, I do take this with me when leaves are off, as well as a short Primus tripod stick. I take them both because this helps me walk when it's slick, cross ravines, cross rocks. Now, leaves on, you're not going to catch me with no tripod trigger stick, tall or short, okay? The squirrels just move around too much. You can't get the shooting angle with that stick in some of this big timber around here. You can with this right here, okay? You see there what I've got for an angle? You see that transformer up there? All right, that's getting pretty steep right there, okay? Some of your shots with leaves on can be extremely steep and close. And you get in cedar thickets, squirrels are hard to kill in cedar thickets. I don't know what makes them so wild, but this stick right here, boys, you can track one with it, okay? And this stick, since it only has the one leg, it's easy to adjust in the woods and not make so much noise, okay? So when old squirrel goes to move it on you, he gets a little farther away from it. He might get a little calmed down if you spooked him, you know, and you get them crosshairs on that head and kaboom. And, you know, you'll get faster using this thing, you know. I'll get a little faster when I start out with it. But I've got quite a bit of experience with this stick right here. This is the next best thing to slice bread when leaves are on, okay? This makes it quick. I don't have to get to a tree necessarily, depending. Sometimes I will. It would depend, okay? But situationally, you know, I wouldn't necessarily have to. Get on that squirrel with this, get that gun up in that V, hold the gun, you know, it's all you got. You know, you're holding this, the gun is not touching my left hand, it's in the V. I'll start tilting that stick and get that angle right. Now, I don't move it much side to side. I can move it a little bit. So any of you people out there want to get into the leaves on squirrel hunting, and this is a real good walking stick, extremely strong and light. Comes in handy, and it also comes in handy, believe it or not, crossing some fences. Okay, because I take that V and I can hold the fence, sometimes hold it down and get across it so I can straddle it and don't hang my hunting breeches and tear them. I've tore a lot of hunting breeches in my career of hunting on fences. Okay. Well, that's the Sharpshooter shooting stick, boys, and you can make you one of these. Now, one thing I noticed, a lot of these pruning devices now, they're putting aluminum on them. They're not putting fiberglass poles on them. This was the older one bought about 12 years ago, and I converted it. I've got the other half to it, but it's a little bigger diameter because this fit inside of it. I hope you enjoyed.